Hello children, welcome to our science session. Let's continue chapter 10, reaching the age of adolescence. In last session, we have discussed about this adolescent period. It involves various changes in adolescence, like increase in height, increase in body size, change in voice box, etc. And also we have discussed in a detailed manner about reaching mental, intellectual and emotional maturity. That is, the adolescence is a period of change in a person's way of thinking. Adolescents are more independent than they before, and also they become self-conscious. In adolescent period, intellectual development takes place, and thus they tend to spend more time in thinking. And we can tell in one's life, this adolescent period is a time when the brain has greater capacity for learning. But during this period, sometimes adolescents may feel insecure about the adjustment of change in the body and mind, but there is no reason to feel insecure. These changes are a natural part of growing up. Then we have discussed about secondary sexual characters. That is, during adolescent period, the testes and ovaries, that is the reproductive organs of males and females, start develop. In girls, breasts begin to develop, and in boys, growth of facial hair, that is mustaches and beard occur. And as these features help us to distinguish the male from female, they are called as secondary sexual characters. And so what are secondary sexual characters? At puberty, some changes occur in both males and females that distinguish from each other are called as secondary sexual characters. What are the secondary sexual characters in boys? Facial hair growth, growth of hair on the chest, under the arms and pubic area. And the same way, what are the secondary sexual characters in girls? Secondary sexual characteristics in girls are development of breast, the growth of hair under the arms and pubic area. Then we have discussed about what initiates the changes at puberty. This onset of puberty is mainly controlled by hormones. What are hormones? Hormones are the chemical substances which are secreted by endocrine glands, or we can call that as endocrine system. Then we know that the testes is an endocrine gland. They are present in male. They secrete male sex hormone called as testosterone, which helps in the production of sperm and also the development of secondary sexual characters in males. And the same way in girls, the ovaries, the endocrine glands, which are present in female, they secrete female sex hormone called as estrogen that helps in the production of egg, or we can call that as ova, and also helps in the development of secondary sexual characters in females. And now let's go more in detail about hormones, how these hormones brought changes in adolescent period. And other than this sex hormone, that is testosterone and estrogen, there are various different hormones that are produced by different endocrine glands which are situated at various parts of our body. And this onset of puberty is mainly controlled by hormones. So hormones from pituitary gland, that is pituitary gland which controls the endocrine. Pituitary gland is also one of the endocrine glands which control the testes and ovaries to release testosterone in male and estrogen in female. And then these hormones are released in the bloodstream and reach different parts and reach the parts of the body, that is where it has to reach, that is we call that as target site. They reach and then it stimulates changes in that in the body at the onset of puberty. For children, so hormones from pituitary, they stimulate testes and ovaries to release testosterone in male and estrogen in female. Why they release directly in the bloodstream? Because the endocrine glands, they do not have duct or tube to carry out secretion, isn't it? That is why they are called as ductless gland. That is why it is directly released in the bloodstream and reach the particular part of the body, that is target site, and then they bring the changes in that part on the onset of puberty. And now the same way, the role of hormones which initiate in the reproductive function, that we have learned that endocrine glands, they release hormones in the bloodstream to reach that particular part, what we call that as target site. Then the target site, they respond to that hormones. Then there are various endocrine glands or ductless glands in the body, that is like testes and ovaries, which secrete sex hormones. These sex hormones are responsible for male and female secondary sexual characters. And all this for the sex hormones are under the control of hormones from pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, it is present in the brain, or that we are going to learn in this session. The pituitary secretes many hormones, one of which it makes ova to mature in the ovaries and sperm form in the testes. So the hormones from the pituitary, it makes the ova to mature in the ovaries, and it makes produce sperm in the testes. So what are pituitary glands? The pituitary glands are present in the body to control the production of hormones by endocrine glands in both males and females. And the role of hormones, how it initiates the reproductive function, the part of the body for which a particular hormone is meant is called as target site. The endocrine gland, they secrete hormones and they release that hormones in the blood, and then it reaches the target site. Then the target site responds accordingly. So now we will learn about pituitary gland in a detailed manner. So pituitary gland, it is located in brain. It is also called as, it is a master gland because it controls the functions of other glands. Got that? And pituitary gland secretes growth hormone. And growth hormone, that is, it controls the development of bones and muscles. And so children, pituitary gland, it is present near the brain, and it secretes growth hormone, and it controls development of bones and muscles. See here, excessive secretion of growth hormone. That is, if pituitary gland secrete excessive hormone, growth hormone, what happens? It causes gigantism, very higher development, more development of body, which leads to gigantism. And less secretion of growth hormone causes dwarfism. So pituitary gland has to secrete correct quantity of, enough quantity of growth hormone. If it is secreted more, then also it leads to gigantism. If it secretes less, it leads to the condition called dwarfism, very small sized organism, dwarfism. And next endocrine gland is thyroid gland. Thyroid gland, where it is located? It is located in the neck region. And see here, you can see in the figure, thyroid, it is located near the neck region, that is near the trachea and larynx. This is the brown colored part, it is thyroid gland. And what it secretes? It secretes thyroxine, the hormone called as thyroxine. And what is the function of thyroxine? It controls all the metabolism of carbohydrate, protein and fat for children. So we have learned about the hormone called testosterone, male sex hormone. Then we have learned about estrogen, female sex hormone. Then the master gland, that is pituitary gland, which secretes hormone called as growth hormone. Now the fourth hormone what we have learned is thyroxine. Thyroxine is a hormone which is secreted by the endocrine gland called thyroid gland. And where it is located? Thyroid gland is located in the neck region. And what is the function? Thyroxine controls metabolism of carbohydrate, protein and fat. And deficiency, and if thyroxine, if it is not secreted in a proper amount, appropriate amount, then it leads to the deficiency disease called as goiter. That is, what is goiter? The enlargement of thyroid gland take place. You can see that swelling near the neck region takes place. And next we will learn about next gland, it is pancreas. We know that pancreas, it is located below the stomach, and it secretes a hormone called as insulin. You may know that insulin is a hormone secreted by pancreas. And insulin, if it secrete, it is used to lower the blood sugar level. And it is also glucagon is an hormone. It used to increase the blood glucose level. So both are increased in a proper quantity, our blood glucose level become normal. And if it is insulin is not secreted in an enough quantity, then our blood glucose level will increase automatically, because it used to lower the blood glucose level. That it leads to the disease called as diabetes. And so children, deficiency of insulin causes a deficiency disease, or we can call that as disorder called as diabetes mellitus. And next endocrine gland is adrenal gland. Adrenal gland, it is they are located on the top of kidney. You can see here black color on the top of kidney. Adrenal glands are present. It secretes the hormone called as adrenaline. That what is the function of adrenaline? It is used to regulate heartbeat, breathing rate, blood pressure, etc. Got children? So we have learned about different endocrine glands which are present in our body and hormones secreted by them, and what is the function of each hormone. Okay children, so this chapter we have discussed about hormones are the secretions of endocrine glands which pour them or which release them directly into the bloodstream, because they do not have a tube or duct. And then we have on the master gland, what we call that as pituitary gland, they secrete hormone called as growth hormone. And this growth hormone, it makes the other glands, other endocrine glands such as testes, ovaries, thyroid and adrenaline to secrete hormone. And or we can tell all the other endocrine glands like testes, ovaries, thyroid, adrenal, etc. are controlled by pituitary gland. Then we have learned pancreas secretes hormone called as insulin, thyroid produces hormone called as thyroxine, and adrenal gland produces hormone called adrenaline. And pancreas present below the stomach, thyroid is present in the neck, and adrenal gland are present on the top of the kidney. And pituitary gland, it is present in the brain. That is why it is a master gland. It controls all the other endocrine glands. Okay children, we'll stop our session here. Thank you.